So, hi, would you like to just introduce who you are?
Sure. I'm Josh Bigley, and this is my wife Angela.
Hi, Angela. Hi,
Hello.
Josh. So, I hear you've been thinking about raising chickens, and I've just done a quick overview here of your really large yard and everything. Tell me about your reasons for doing this.
Well, first maybe a moment of insanity. I think that what it was for us was a desire to have our kids first recognize where their food comes from, to kind of go back to where it is that we all came from, and that's seeing our food and seeing the animals that it comes from and recognizing where it is. Second, having some control over the quality of the type of food that it is, and finally, I think it was about food security, just knowing that we have food literally in our backyards, whether it's in our garden or in our chicken coop. Just having that food readily accessible to us and not having to depend on anybody else to feed us.
And you're both kind of city slickers, self-described city slickers, aren't you? So, do you
Past city slickers.
do you know do you know a lot about raising chickens, or is this going to be a bit of a novel adventure for the two of you?
Well, yeah, definitely novel adventure.
It is, but I think we did a lot of research too, because we didn't want to bring them into our yard, not be able to take care of them, not be able to, know what kind of illnesses they might get, or, we want them to be raised to be healthy and happy chickens. So you have to have some kind of knowledge in order to be able to, make sure that they can live like that.
Right. In the past, not recently, but in the further past, everybody kept chickens and stuff at home, and now this is a very unusual thing, and some people, are going to object to this. What do you think their objections are really, and how do you hope to persuade people that what you're doing is a good thing?
Well, I think there's a few standard arguments. One, chickens are loud. Two, chickens are smelly. And three, chickens attract vermin, whether it's rats or raccoons or whatnot. First, chickens aren't loud. Large, groups of chickens, hundreds of chickens are loud, yes, but
And
that's...
large groups of chickens who are cooped up and
Yeah.
not able to, walk around, then they're loud.
That's
They're
right.
stressed out and they're freaking out, but
And that's
happy chickens aren't loud.
And that's what makes smelly chickens too, is when you cram 27,000 chickens into two a central pole barn. As far as attracting vermin, we've been in our backyard gardening and seen foxes and
Raccoons in the neighbor's yard in the middle of the day.
So they're here already. Are they going to be attracted to our chickens? Probably.
Oh, well, then they'll stay out of everyone else's yard.
That's right. But we'll do our best to keep our chickens safe, because they're as much pets to our children as they are providers of good, nourishing food.
Are you intending to have layers and eaters, or just specialize in layers?
We hope to have only layers. The children are struggling with the idea of eating pets.
Yes.
But the reality is, and that's part of what we want to teach our children, the reality is that not all chickens are girls. And so there will be some that do get eaten, and we're just hoping they're not named when they get eaten.
And if they're very old and stringy, maybe Daisy might quite like them too.
Maybe dog food.
Yes. Well,
That's
the big
about the respect of animals, though, right?
Yes.
Like the idea that kids are growing up, they don't know how to take care of their own pets, let alone a chicken or a cow or something like that. And there's just no respect for the fact that that is an animal, and you can eat it, and you can be respectful about the process that you go through in order to eat it. And I think that obviously society as a whole has kind of lost that idea of being respectful towards animals.
Tell me a bit more, Angela, about what you hope for your children here.
I want my kids to learn how to be respectful of life, to be able to learn how to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, responsible. There's too many children I see who aren't responsible for themselves or for anyone else around them. And that's really important to me. I want them to grow up to learn a sense of community. And I think that by having chickens, people are going to wonder, what's going on in their backyard. So that's going to allow people the opportunity to come to our yard where otherwise they might not, you know. I hear my grandmother say how she used to have a neighbor who lived next door to her for 30 years, and you know, they talked every Sunday and they borrowed, you know, a cup of sugar here or whatever. That just doesn't happen anymore. And I want my kids to live in a neighborhood like that, and the only way they can is if we create that. And I think that part of being able to have a garden, and you know, we've already started sharing what we've grown in our garden with our neighbors. You know, that can only be passed on. People are not going to reject that. You know, it's not something that can just be, oh, well, thank you for those radishes. You know, it's nice when people give you something, and not only am I giving him something, but it's something I've grown myself. So I think that same with my eggs for my chickens, and you know, it can be a community thing. It doesn't have to be just those outsiders who brought chickens into the city.